Everyone, my name is Miss Sidra. How are you all doing today? Wonderful, good to know it. So, I have a question. Don't we all love playing games on our phones, computers, right? Yeah, I do like playing games. So, how about you being able to create one with me today? Exciting, right? Have you ever thought of making one by yourself? Sounds fun, right? That you can create your very first own game. Isn't it exciting? All right. So, today let's create a very simple interactive game in code.org. Okay, by dragging blocks of code. Okay, students? All right. So, the goal of today's class is making a simple interactive game like clicker game. Sounds fun? Right. So, in this clicker game, you're going to learn about loops, functions, and variables. Wonderful. Now, let's go to the place called code.org. So, this is nothing but a platform which will help you to make your own game. Sounds fun, right? Yes, it is fun. All right. So let's explore our code.org before we start the game. So on the left side, you have a mobile simulator. It is nothing but similar to your real mobile, but it is not a real mobile. It is used to test your apps. Okay, whatever your applications or whatever games you're making, it is going to help you test that. That's the reason you call it mobile simulator. You have a yellow button. When you click on that yellow button, you can see whether your app is working fine or not. And in the middle, you have a toolbox with a code palette with the different color codes. You can see different wonderful colors over here, right? Exciting, yes. And on the right side, you have an empty workspace where you need to drag all your code blocks and place over here. Right, exactly. We are going to do that. Now, in the code.org, you have code mode and you have a design mode. You just need to toggle with a click. You need to just toggle from design mode to the code mode in a one click. So the design mode is similar to your code mode. The difference is the toolbox. In the toolbox, you have different elements that are called as UI elements. That is nothing but user interface elements. So what does the user interface elements means? So these are the visual components. You can see it. For example, when you see your YouTube, you have your visual buttons over there. When you see your WhatsApp, you have visual buttons in your WhatsApp. So those are nothing but that allows you to interact. Unless you click on it, you won't be able to do it. For example, when you write down a message in WhatsApp, unless you click on the green arrow, the message won't be able to go. That is what makes the button interactive. You're going to click on it to send a message. And every UI element will have a different unique ID. And why is it important to have a clear UI ID? Because it tells the user how to use it in your program. That means how to do the coding of it. Okay. Now let's talk about our clicker game. What are we making? What are we going to make today? So the clicker game is nothing but a simple application, a game application. So what is an application? An application helps the user to perform specific tasks. For example, a YouTube, we use YouTube to watch videos, WhatsApp to chat, to call. So every app has a purpose. And today, the purpose of our app is nothing but to make a fun game, right? Excited, right? So you have four steps in making any app or a game. So the first is purpose. As I told you, the purpose of today's app is making a fun loving game. Yes. The second is designing. So design is very important. Without design, you won't be able to function app. Like you see a YouTube, how do you recognize with the help of the design? YouTube is red button. And what about WhatsApp? Yes, it is green. Right. So that is all because of design. And the third thing is coding. How does your app work without coding? It's not possible. So you need to code the app to make it run or make it functional. Now the last step is run and test. As I told you, the function of this button over here, the run button, you need to click, you need to run, and you need to test. That means debug. No, debug. Debug is nothing but not the bug insect. The debug meaning is you need to remove the errors or the mistakes. When you find something wrong going on in your game, you need to correct it to make the game proper, right? Yes, exactly. Now, to begin with, what are we going to do? We are going to simply go to our design mode, and on the mobile simulator, you can see the ID of the screen is screen 1. The screen is also a UI that is interactive. You can see the screen, you can click on the screen like you do it on your mobile phone. So here is the ID. I'm not going to change the ID, just I'm going to change the background color of the screen. Let's keep it a blue background. Yes. Now the next step is I'm going to add a label. Why am I adding a label? I'm adding a label so that I want to keep a score in my clicker game. I want to see on every click how many times have I clicked. Have I clicked 5 times? Have I clicked 10 times? I want a count of it. That's the reason I'm keeping a text button over here. That is a label. So what do I need to do? I first want the label to be visible. As you can see, it's very blurry over here. So what do I need to do? I have to increase the border width of the label. Yes, I did it. Now it's very well clearly visible to me. I can make it more bigger so that the score comes right. Now I want my score not on the left corner. I want it in the center. So I'm going to change the text alignment in the center. Here we go. Yes, in the center. Now, don't you see the text is very small? That means the score is also going to show very small. So I don't want that. I want to know my count in a bigger size. So I'm going to increase the font size. Yes, see how big it is going. Yes, yes. So I kept it 40, right? Yes. Now I don't want anything into my label because I want the count in my label. That's the reason I'm emptying it. Now, how does the score go? Increase, or how can I keep a count? With the help of a button. Unless I click on a button, I won't be able to see whether my score is increasing or decreasing. So the reason I took a button is I want to click on the button. So I drag the button, and the ID of the button is button 1. I'm not changing it. Just I'm going to change the text to click me. I'm going to write down click me on the button so that it makes the user understand that we need to click on the button to keep the count of our game. Okay? Now I don't like the background color of the button, so I'm going to click on the background color. I'm going to change it to red. Yes. Does it look wonderful? Yes, it does look wonderful. Now my design is completed. I'm going to toggle to the code. Now the first thing what I'm going to do in my code is I'm going to assign a variable. So I'm going to declare a variable. Now what is a variable before that? A variable is a container which holds and stores the value. Now what is a container? What does the values means? Let's understand with the help of a simple example. Like take an example of your toy box. You have a toy box in your house where you add all the toys to it after playing. So that toy box is a variable and all your toys becomes values. It is holding and storing your toys until the next time you play it. Similarly, here you are going this variable is going to hold your score, and it is also going to store it. And before starting any game, the score will be initially 0 because we haven't started the game yet, right? Now we are going to go to the UI controls, and we are going to take on event. Now what is the use of an on event? On event is nothing but event is an event is something which triggers to an action. For example, when you click on the switch, the lights get on. So clicking on the switch is the event and light is getting on is the action. So here when you click on the button, the score is going to increase and we can keep the count of the score. Now for that I need to change the idea of my on event because I want to click on the button one. So we can keep the uh, cursor on the button and check the ID. The ID is button one. So do I change it to button one? Now, what do I want? I want my score to increase. For that, I'm going to go back to the variables again. I'm going to assign. First, I have declared the variable. Now, I'm going to assign it saying that I want the score to increase. So, for increase, I need to go to math and take add operator. So, what do I want? I want my score to increase one by one when I click on one. Okay, let's click on run and check. I'm clicking, but why? How come my score is not being visible? The reason is that I'm going to go to the UI controls again and I'm going to take an ID called set text and I'm going to change the ID of label. We forgot we added a label one over here. So we added a label. So I'm going to change the ID. And what do I want? I want my label to show the score. So what score? Whatever how much ever times I click, I want my label to show the score. Now let's click. Yes, 3 4. So as many as times I'm going to click, it is going to show the score. Isn't it little boring that you need to click it every time? Right? It's boring, right? You don't want to do that work. We want our game to do that work for us. Right. So for that, to make it more easy, what can we do? We can use a call function. Okay, we are going to use a call function. What does call function means? It runs the code. So it is going to call the function. It'll tell the computer to do that work for you. I want the computer to do the work that I want to click once and the score should increase automatically by its own. I don't want to click it again and again. That work I want the computer to do for me. So for that, I'm going to go to functions. I'm going to take call a function. I'm going to write down increase score. I want the computer to increase score on a click. I don't want to click it again and again. All right. Now I told the computer to increase the score, but I need to give clear instructions. That means I need to define. For example, you're telling the computer to make a sandwich. But how do you define the computer? Because computer is just a machine. You need to give clear and specific instructions. Like first cut it into slices, add a peanut butter, then spread the jelly on other slice, put two slices together, like that. So you're giving complete instructions. You're defining all the instructions. Okay. So name of the function again is increase score because we are doing it same. Call and define is the same over here. Now what do we do? What do we need to do? We need to just take the line 4 of our code and put it inside and line set text inside the call and define function. Okay. We need to just drag and drop. Okay. Here is a mistake. Okay. Here we go. Now, the next thing is we need to just click run and check. What happens? It is still not working. Shit, what happened? It's still not working. Why do I need to click again and again? It's very tiring. So I have a solution for you. So what's the solution? In that case, we are going to go to controls and we are going to use a time loop. Okay. So what is a time loop? Time loop is going to run and keeps on running. So what is a loop? Loop is something which is going to do your action again and again. So it keeps on going to do your action until you click on the stop button. It is keep on going to continue and continue. For example, you pedal your bike or a cycle. You start from start point to the end point. You keep on cycling until you reach that point. Similarly, the loop works exactly like that over here. And why is, you might ask a question, why is 1000 written on the loop? So the loop works in milliseconds. So 1 second is equal to 1000 milliseconds. Okay. So every 1 second, the score of your game is going to increase by one. So what do we need to do over here? We need to just simply take this function and put inside it. Okay. Call function. Now click run and check. On one click, the score is automatically going to increase one by one till you just hit on the button and stop it. Wonderful. Let's give us applause that we made a very interactive, successful clicker game. Okay, now let's quickly do a recap. What did we learn today? So we made a game this which is perfect for understanding loops, variables and functions. Okay? So these are the fundamental concepts you will be required to build any functional game. So I want you guys to practice and remember these concepts. So let's rename this game and write down as a clicker game. Now let's save this game. Yes. So it's our first game together. Wonderful. Now, would you like to try another game with me? Yay! Yes, I would definitely like to try another game. So let's click on New Project, go to App Lab, and we are going to go for another game. So, any ideas? What can be the game? What will be about? Let me tell you. It's color changing screen. Yes. Does it sound like magic? Yes, but it's not magic. It's all about coding. It's not magic. Okay? So this will teach you how does the programming logic works and UI control. How does the coding and UI controls together work like we have seen in the last application. So application is nothing but an app. In simple terms, we call it app, which helps you perform specific tasks. So it is going to help you to do some work like we are making a game to play it, right? All right. So in this again, you have the similar interface like your previous project as we are using the same platform code.org. Now first we are going to go to the design mode. As I told you, there are 4 step purpose. The purpose is to make color changing screen game. The second step is designing. Without design, you can't code. So first we are going to design it. What do we do? We are going to start with a label. We are going to name our app or a game. What is the name? Changing screen color? Yes. Changing screen color. Yes. Now what do I need to do? I want the font to be a little bigger. It's very small. It's hardly visible, right? Yes. So I want it little bigger. So I made it a little bigger and I'm going to drag it so that it's visible. Now I don't like the color of the font, so I'm going to change it to something interesting. So let's keep it yellow, a bright sunny yellow. Yes. Now what do I need to do over here? I need to just simply drag a button and place it because on a click button I want the screen to change to red color. Unless I click on a button, how can a screen change to another color? So I drag the button and the ID of the button is the same. I did not change it. Label ID is also the same. As I told you, every UI element has a unique ID. So I did not change it. Now the button text, I'm going to change it to red. I'm going to change the name of the button to red because I want my screen color to change to go red. Now background color of the button can be red because I want my screen to turn red. So that completes my design. Now I'm going to toggle to the code mode. Now I'm going to start with UI control element called on event. So event that triggers to an action. So this is an event handler which is going to trigger an action. When I click on the button red, the screen turns red. So here I'm going to change the ID button 1 because the ID of my button is button 1. Now what do I want? I want my screen to turn red. So I'm going to take a property. The property of the screen is the background color. I want the background color to change. That's the reason I'm taking set property. Now I'm going to change the ID screen 1. And what do I want? I want the background color to change to red. Exciting? Yes. Now let's click run. Yay! So our screens turn red, right? When you click on the button red, the screen turns red. Isn't it exciting? Yes, it's wonderful. It's not just exciting, it's wonderful. It's like magic. When you're clicking on a button, it is turning. Likewise, you can change the colors if you want it to the green color. Let's try another one, a green color. I'm changing the name of the button to green and turning the background color to green. Now going back to the code, I want everything is similar. Just what do I need? I need to just change the name of the color. Which color do I want the screen to be? Click on run. Yay! The screen turns green. Now let's quickly do a recap. What did we learn today? So we learned about UI design. So it is nothing but creative, responsive visual elements. Those elements are responsive. When you click on the button, it is responding by changing the color. We learned about set property, how you can change the property of the screen, like background color. You can add an image. There are a lot of things we can do. And we have also learned about on event that is going to react on a click. When you are going to click, it is going to react. So these concepts are again the foundation of building almost any app. If you want to build any bigger, smaller, any apps, you need to remember and learn these foundations, and you can imagine as many as games with these concepts. So let's rename this and let's keep it a magic screen. Okay, let's name it magic screen. Wonderful. Let's keep it magic screen and we'll save the project. Awesome. Let's clap for us as we have made two successful games today. A clicker game and another one is magic screen, right? So it was fun creating such wonderful games with you guys and creating, learning new concepts. So good luck for your other projects. Happy learning. Thank you so much.